Greetings, friends. I'm Hellenic Light, and welcome to the Orphic hymns. I've compiled the entirety of the hymns into this playlist, and I believe I am the first to have done so on YouTube. I also know you will be listening to a unique reading which is not found anywhere on YouTube, as it is authentic ancient Greek. I will not be using, as is commonly produced by non-Greeks, the Erasmus or reconstructed system taught in universities and schools, nor is it the newly formed Lucian system that is popular on YouTube these days. They all have a hard Latin sounding pronunciation that is anything but Greek. What I will be using is what is known as the Rushlinian to non Greeks, the Rushlinian system to non Greeks, and to Greeks, it's simply Greek, but it may sound like modern Greek to an ear trained in that form. To modern Greeks, it will sound familiar yet different in the way they are accustomed to speaking, simply because I have honored and respected the grammar, the accentation, which is essentially musical notation, no different than reading a sheet of music produced by Bach and exactly reproducing it 500 years later, as well as following the punctuation and any other symbols that are used in grammar like diareses and breathings, commas, periods, etc., especially the proper use of the circumflux, which is a rising and lowering of tone of the long vowels. Therefore, I hope you enjoy this unique, authentic ancient Greek reading. I, um, I would like to speak a little bit about Orpheus himself so that you may come to have a greater appreciation for these hymns. Orpheus was the son of a Thracian king, Iagros. Orpheus and his brother Linus were trained in the art of music at a young age and were exceptional musicians. At a young age, he married his sweetheart, Evridiki, who immediately died. He fell into extreme depression at the loss of his beautiful wife, and from this incident, we have the myth where he descended into Hades to try and recover her and bring her back to life using his music to charm the underworld. He did not succeed, of course, in this, and his wife remained with the dead. What this myth explains to us is in his darkest moment of despair, he had an epiphany. He realized our entire reality is based on sound, resonance, and vibration. He came to understand that everything animate and inanimate has a frequency, whether it is visible or invisible. And this epiphany led him down a path of becoming a mystic. It was through this epiphany that he came to know who the gods were, their function, and their frequencies. He then made it his mission in life to teach the Greeks this knowledge, even going down to Egypt during its first dynasty and teaching the Egyptians this mystic knowledge. But this knowledge was not for everyone. It was for those who had ears to hear and eyes to see. And he created the initiation into the mysteries for those who did have ears to hear and eyes to see. During his long life, he wrote down many works that are now lost to us on the mysteries, or in other words, the unknown, and only three have remained: the Argonautica, the hymns, and the lithics. His followers, or students, became traveling priests that assisted anyone who was in need of their mystic knowledge. They were essentially guns for hire, as we would say in the Old West. This religion, if we can call it a religion, influenced Hellenic civilization right up until the Byzantine period when Christianity adopted, transformed, and then did everything to eliminate the original source. Essentially, all ancient Greeks were Orphics. In his old age, he joined the Argonautic expedition to become one of the Argonauts. and assist this band of heroes in their journey. Upon his return, he observed the unorganized Dionysian movement that became popular, and realizing the rituals that were performed by the uninitiated did not lead to a lifelong transformation or to enlightenment or an understanding of the metaphysical, but rather a temporary ecstatic state that briefly removed people from reality. He attempted to reform this unorganized Dionysian movement to enlighten them with the truth. And because these people did not have ears to hear nor eyes to see the truth, and in their drunken ecstatic state, they killed him for interfering in an unwelcome manner with their joyful festivities. Fortunately, his initiates, and especially his star student Musaeus, carried on the work of his master. The primary purpose of the Orphic hymns was practical, esoteric, ritual magic. They were not composed for passive reading, public entertainment, or even standard temple worship. Instead, they acted as a technological tool of alignment to higher frequencies to invoke the natural energies that were called upon. These hymns are meant to resonate at specific frequencies, like fine-tuning a radio to clearly catch a specific frequency. Initiates use them as musical formulas to invoke specific cosmic frequencies, purifying the human soul and harmonizing it with planetary and divine forces ruling our dimensional reality. They were essentially called upon to assist in whatever issue the person needed them for. For those of you that want to use these for ritual, or just out of curiosity to hear what they sound like, they have been made in the most simplified way. They are only audio to listen to. For those of you that wish to use them for study and have a need to read them or want to learn proper pronunciation of Greek, or to simply follow along with the audio, please go to HellenicGods.org and you will find the complete hymns in ancient Greek available to be downloaded for free, which is where I got the ones that are used and you are hearing. May I add, for anyone interested in expanding their knowledge on the gods, it's a most wonderful website and highly recommended. Tip of the hat to the creator of the website. Friends, thank you kindly for your time, and I would greatly appreciate any likes, comments, subscriptions to help this channel. May the gods be with you. Thei meth imon ien.